guys, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Rob Madden. Thank you so much for your support, Rob. We really appreciate it. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day like Rob, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, first of all, happy spring. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. So, if you've been watching the last few days, you know that Ika and Cass especially have been really mixing up some shit. Ika, Cass, and Dallas have been campaigning like crazy because Dallas knows he's in trouble now. Dylan is obviously going to be using the power veto on himself, so now we need a replacement nominee and a new target because Dylan was the target this week. So there's been a lot of back and forth. You know, is it Dylan or is it Dallas that's going up on the block? Is he the new target? Like, what's the deal here? So, I just thought there was, like, this really funny moment when Ika and Cass were talking amongst themselves, and Ika was like, are we playing too hard? Yes! Yes, you're playing too hard! Are you freaking kidding me? And Cass says, nope, Bruno and Kevin are playing too hard. What? What are you talking about? Okay, so Dallas is still planning on getting all the vets together to beg for his life. That's kind of where we left off yesterday. So, before that can happen, Dallas starts pleading his case to Netta. He's trying to still work people on a one-on-one level. So, he's basically telling her, I'm going to do anything that I have to do to stay. And she's just like, oh yeah, of course. Stop talking to me. So, he's like, you know what, I'll sell Dylan down the river. I'm trying to avoid him as much as possible because he knows that Dylan is putting a huge target on his back. Because Dylan is a huge target himself, and people don't like the two of them working together. So he's like, okay, I'm going to make a speech in front of everybody during the power veto meeting, and I'm going to distance myself from Dylan with that speech. So Netta's like, yeah, sounds great. Again, get out of my face. You know, try to get back in with the vets. That's probably your only real chance right now, so do what you got to do. So Dallas is like, he's accepting the fact that he's probably going to be the replacement nominee no matter what this week, but there's still a chance that he can get the votes to stay. Alright, so then Netta, Cindy, and Bruno were talking in the blue bedroom about Dallas, of course, because Dallas has been running around like a crazy person. So then, of course, Dallas and Ika walk in, and Dallas is like, well, I guess this is probably like the best I can do for the vets meeting, you know? He's got 5 out of 8 in the same room. That's pretty good. He's, you know, it's tough to get everybody together all at the same time, especially when the backyard was closed off because there's nowhere else for people to go. So eventually Kevin joins in too, which means that the only vets missing from this big meeting were Gary and Cass, and they're already kind of like on the outside of things, so interesting. Alright, well, Dallas, he was really beating a dead horse in this meeting. I mean, he's like, I'm going after Dylan. I'm loyal to the vets. I need you guys to have my back. 8 strong, stick together. And he just kept saying over and over again, I need to know. Are we in it? Are we not? Are we in it? Bruno, are we in it? Do I have your vote, Bruno? Are we in it? Oh my god! And it was like all Dallas talking this whole time. Nobody else was really contributing to the conversation. I don't think they were really that interested in hearing what he had to say. Plus, Dallas was just like, it was crazy. So he also tells them, like, I just need, what is it, like 6 votes or whatever this week to tie because Dimitri told him, yes, I will vote for you to stay if there is a tie. Alright, so he keeps asking them individually, like, do you have my back? Bruno, Cindy, you got my back? So then he gets to Kevin, and Kevin was probably, like, the most disinterested acting during this meeting. He was like changing his pants, he's like folding up some clothes. So when Dallas asks him for his vote, Kevin says multiple times like, I just want to wait until the POV ceremony's over because, you know, I want to see who's actually going up on the block. We don't know 100% that it's going to be you. So Kevin was just trying to say anything but, I'm not voting for you. Also, when I think about it, Netta was like face down on a bed while this meeting was happening. But anyway, eventually Dallas leaves the room. He said his piece like 5 or 6 times. And Ika is freaking pissed. She starts going off on everybody because she's like, you guys aren't taking this seriously. She's pissed that Kevin was sitting there folding clothes. She storms out. And Netta is left there to like smooth things over because Aika is freaking blowing everything up. So she's just like, oh, you know, don't take anything Aika says seriously. She's just a mess right now because she's on slop. So she's all like grouchy and everything. So then, you know, they go back to discussing the situation at hand here. Like, what are they going to do about Dallas? So they agree, like, we're not really buying this going after Dylan thing from Dallas because he's just going to say anything at this point to stay in the game. So then Bruno and Kevin leave. It's just I was going to say Nendy. What is wrong with me? It's just Netta and Cindy chatting alone in the bedroom, and they're getting really pissed at Aika. They are feeling like she's getting a lot closer with Cass and Dallas than she is with them, and I think that's kind of true. Like, Aika's been spending all this time with Cass and Dallas. She's really sticking her neck out there for him, and you know, they're worried because Aika is putting their relationships with Bruno and Kevin at risk. So she might mess this up for them, and they don't want that. So Netta's like, this is convincing me even more that we should evict Dallas because he's causing a lot of problems in this vet alliance. All right, so then let's get back with Aika right now. So after she stormed out of the bedroom, she went to the other room. She starts crying. She's pissed that Kevin was folding his clothes while Dallas was sitting there, like, pleading for his life. And she's like, when those a-holes are trying to stay in the game and they're pleading for their lives to me, I'm going to sit there folding my clothes. So Netta's telling her, yeah, I know that you think that Bruno and Kevin are sketchy. I do too. But you just can't act like that. Especially this early in the game, because we need them right now. Like, let them think that they can manipulate us, let them think that they can beat us in competitions, and let them take out Dallas, because we can't trust him anyway. Like, why are we gonna stick our necks out for him, especially this early in the game? So she's really talking Aika down, and then Gary comes in, and first of all, he's upset that he missed the meeting. You know, he's feeling out of the loop right now. And then he's like, Aika, can I talk to you? Like, what's wrong? What's going on? And Aika's like, I don't want to talk to anyone right now. So Gary is freaking pissed about that, too. He's like, really? Because I see you talking to Netta right now. Like, why won't you talk to me? So, I mean, he makes a good point. So later, the backyard finally opens up. Woo! And Aika and Cindy... Shit! Aika and Cindy are chatting in the backyard, and it's funny because they were talking about like Emily and Dallas and everybody, and Emily was like only a few feet away, like on the other side of the couch, so like I'm not really sure what was going on there. But Aika's just like, Emily is coming after me, she has to go. Why are we doing what Bruno wants this week? Like, why are we playing his game? I'm sick of this. And Cindy's like, well, why don't we talk to Bruno about it and, like, clear these things up? You know, it doesn't have to be blown out of proportion like this. And Aika's like, no, I don't want to be in this alliance anymore. This alliance is less than a week old. This alliance is a few days old. And Aika's already saying she wants out. Did we not see this coming? We saw this coming. All right. Some side notes on last night. Just some little fun things. Dre went in a hot tub for the first time in her life last night, and she liked it. Good for you, Dre. Okay. Dre was also in the HOH room when Dimitri openly admitted that he has a crush on Aika in front of Aika. So she seemed a little uncomfortable about it. I think she saw this coming, but she was trying to redirect him to like have a showmance with Cindy. She's like, oh, don't you think Cindy's so cute? Like, I saw you guys cuddling before, but Dimitri's into Aika and she's not having that. Anyway, back to the game. Cass and Aika are still trying to work Dimitri. They're trying to have some last minute strategy chats with him last night because POV ceremony is today. So they were sitting at the dining room table, and Dimitri had his little stuffed dog like in his shirt. It was really weird, but cool. So Dimitri brings up that Emily was talking some game with him, and she promised if he put up Karen this week as the replacement, he would be safe next week with her, Dylan, Dallas, Bruno, and Kevin. Two things. First of all, how can she promise that? How can she promise that he's going to be safe with all those people? Like, it doesn't mean anything. Second, the girls jump right on that shit. They're like, oh, Emily's making promises for Bruno and Kevin. They're working together. They're working together. They don't need any more proof than that. So Dimitri's feeling very conflicted at this point. There's a couple things that could happen here. He could put up Dallas and get rid of Dallas. He could put up Jackie and get rid of Emily. Or he can put Dallas up on the block and then get rid of Emily anyway. So he doesn't know what to do at this point. He's feeling like he's going to look like a friggin' idiot if he doesn't put Dallas up on the block after he made this huge thing about it. So the girls are like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but they're really worried that Dallas is going to go home if he's up on the block. So this morning, there was more scrambling by Dallas. I'm not going to get all into that because it's the same shit over and over again. But anyway, moving on. Dimitri reports to Netta and Ika in the have-not room, and he lets them know he's pretty much come to a decision. He's going to nominate Jackie as the replacement and get rid of Emily this week. Just break up that little trio. So then Netta's like, yeah, but I think we should still get rid of Dallas. Like, why are we making all these last-minute changes? Why are we not sticking to our gut? So she's telling him Dallas is going to say anything he needs to say right now. So, you know, in desperate times, people are going to do that. You can't really fall for that. So Dimitri is like, oh, I'm so confused. And Netta just freaking did all of that work that took Ika and Cassandra hours. She did that in a matter of minutes. That's how freaking good she is. Alright, so it was time for the power veto ceremony. They do it pretty early in the day on Big Brother Canada, and Dylan used it on himself, as expected. And then Dallas was put up as a replacement, and apparently he addressed the group as planned and really tried to distance himself from Dylan. And we know this because when the feeds came back, Dylan was pissed. Like, really pissed. So he's like pacing back and forth, and he keeps saying like, Dallas made me look like a goof on national TV. He made me look like a R word. Are you serious? Like, really? You're gonna use the R word? Ugh. I'm not even gonna get into it, but I think you guys know how I feel about Dylan. Anyway, he's saying like, I wouldn't give up my morals like that for $100,000. That's nothing to me. Like, my shoe collection is probably worth almost that much. Oh my God, just leave. You suck. You really do suck. So then Dallas is telling him, look, man, I did what I had to do. Like, this is not a history-breaking or history-making move in Big Brother. This shit happens all the time. It's the nature of the game. I'm sorry, man. And Dylan's just like, F you, man. Get out of here. So then eventually they do have a discussion in one of the bedrooms. It was weird because they were, like, laughing, yelling at each other, and then they shook hands, but then a few minutes later they also said F you to each other. Like, it was just really weird. Entertaining for sure. And then after the discussion, Dylan goes out in front of everybody. He's like going on this rant about how everyone else is a little bitch and they would sell their moralities for $100,000, and he's not gonna do that. Oh my God, you're just so much better than everyone else. Why are you even on this show? Alright, but again, very entertaining. So then, while all this is going on, Bruno is quietly making his moves. He's telling Emily, you're my favorite person in the house, you have my vote, but don't tell anybody my name, you know, on your vote list, because that can't get out there. It's a real meet me in the dumpster situation. But then he's also talking to Dimitri, and he's like, I'll do whatever you want, man, as long as it's voting out Dallas. So, you know, they have some concerns within the alliance that whole dilly-dally fight was just a setup. And these concerns were also fueled by Cass's actions during the whole confrontation. Apparently, during the power veto ceremony, she was sitting there with a little grin on her face, so they're like, wow, was this all set up or what? No, I think it was just like one of those things when you see people fighting and you're like, yeah. So anyway, after that, the feeds have been down for quite a few hours now, most of the afternoon. I think there was some sort of plumbing issue in the house, so they've been trying to fix that. And, yeah, we're 3 days away from the next eviction. It's going to be either Dallas or Emily going. You can expect some fireworks, I think, in the next few days. So make sure you guys keep checking in. And until tomorrow, much love.